So,
But then, as you were saying, we used instruments that did not exist in the 1970s to
yeah,
analyze those samples. And so Jamie Elsela did a lot of good work on those samples, presented at LPSC the following year, and was looking for organic compounds in those lunar samples. So that's the whole story of exactly that example
sure.
being realized.
So how does the scientific community decide when dealing with such a scarce resource and precious resource?
Yeah,
How do they decide when is the right time to put some of it at risk,
a good question.
basically?
You know, I'm not an expert on what goes out of the lab, gets sent out, and what the criteria are, but I
Mm,
will say, having looked at some of the proposals and considered writing some proposals, they're called LARS proposals, or
mm.
laboratory analysis of return samples. Those are essentially where you say, hey, we have a new instrument and we want to test it
Ah,
using these samples. And, some committee says, yes, this is interesting. And then they approve the grant, the money for the grant, and then it goes, I imagine, to NASA Johnson or whoever holds the samples,
mm,
and they say, okay, it's been funded. This is a lab that's credible, and they have a plan for how they're going to manage the sample. It's only a very small amount. It's going to
yeah.
yield this sort of science return. And so you have to trace it all the way through the proposal.